Hey guys, how you doing? I am Ryan Date, aka Date Ryan Samo on Twitter and Twitch. Over there is my big brother, that is Goose the Truth. Travis, if you know him. I've got Nobu Nagadano with me, that's Tommy. That is Black by Nature, aka Kadeem. And over there is my homie, the mod who's been helping me out the entire time while I've been streaming, Ed, and Edwin, the player 2 in Mercenaries. If you don't know and you have been watching a stream, that is the guy behind the action and the abilities. And we are the Hashira podcast, coming to you live on Twitch, talking all things anime and nerd. Please share so people could join the conversation, since you guys have all been here and are here to join said conversation, and so everyone else can kind of talk the anime and nerd stuff with us. I do want to start this off by saying it is Black History Month, and to everybody who celebrates it, yeah, celebration is in order. I'm down and I'm here for that. So we're going to be talking about Attack on Titan, but before we get into that, I want to read a comment from one of the viewers and people who have joined the conversation. It's from my guy, Mr. G. He's a streamer here on Twitch. Check him out if you don't already. I'll make sure to have that information for you. And he said this in regards to our last conversation based off One Piece, and he said, I think Zoro is going to take off Kaido's head. Him already taking the head off the dragon from Punk Hazard is foreshadowing for what he could possibly do to Kaido, in my opinion. And that was a good comment on the last stream, and I wanted to make sure I put that out there. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
That's big talk. I'm a big Zoro fan, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah, man, that's my guy, Mr. G. He was out there putting the comments down. So thank you for watching. Thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for being part of the conversation with us, the Hashira Podcast. And let's get into it. So as we normally do, we start off with a conversation, and we start this conversation off with a question, and it's going to be based off the Attack on Titan verse, right? So, holy cow, what is happening in season 4?
How much has the pillars even? How much have we even talked about AOT?
I only bring up AOT for like big moments. When we talk about big moments, we bring up AOT. So like dramatic.
Yeah, you only brought it up once. Was that Irwin speech? I remember you brought that up.
I brought up the Irwin speech.
Yeah.
I brought up Levi smoking the Beast Titan. I brought up Armin being a beast. Yeah, I bring it up often actually. So
I think so. Like, you know, and when you go and you look for it, it says last season. Like, they're letting us know this is it.
Yeah.
We're at the final stage here.
Final countdown.
I'm actually really, truly happy with this anime. I'm happy with this story. I'm happy with the way it was directed as a cartoon. I'm happy with the story, the way it was written as cartoon/manga. People often want to converse about Aaron's character development, and I think it's too early. I think you need the show to finish before we can even speak about where he came from and where he is now. Granted, we have seen a lot of different things with him, but I think we're now at a stage where if you watch this last episode, you're trying to figure out what he's doing. What is it?
Yeah, that's a fact.
What's his plan? What's his end game? Have we lost the Aaron that we fell in love with? That the guy, the go-getter, the I'm not gonna quit, the destroy all, want to kill all time. Have we lost him? Is he still here? So we can't say anything until it's done. With that said, and I know everybody has their thoughts about a certain character on the show. All's fair in love and war. That's what I'm gonna say. I think one of the best lines that you get hit with on this last episode, on episode 8, is Reiner, you and I are the same, which is basically, I think it's a line to show that when they came over to their side, when they did whatever they did, I think they were put to that to do it, and this is war now. We're gonna have casualties. I can't fault Gabby for the way she thinks. I can't, because that's just the way they were brought up, I'm not gonna align her with Rachel, what people were doing. I'm not gonna do that. If anything, no, she's not thinking.
Listen, I mean, it was a joke.
It was a joke.
I'm
not putting them on the same.
No, but it's on media though. On media,
because of what she did to who she did it to. You have to do that to her. Let's hit one of the other people.
Word, yeah, word, man.
You gotta do that to her. I mean, she ain't pick her, but
Yeah. But to
and the foreshadow was there that something between them was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
But to piggyback off what Trav was saying, I like with the character development of Eren. Do you think they're trying to foreshadow like his transformation, like who he's gonna become? Being that what we seen before was, he was energetic, he was that fierceness that, I want to get things done, to like the dark look, the long hair, his facial expression, his whole mood, his body language towards everything. It's just his whole demeanor is just like dark. So like they're trying to push him he's going towards the dark side versus how he was before.
I think the theme of the show is dark in general. Like from the beginning, we get
everything is dark,
dying and limbs flying
constantly
everywhere.
too.
The words that it's so funny because if you go back, it's so easy to forget because it's season by season, right? So you forget words that are being used.
Right.
The initial words that they called Erwin was devil.
Yeah.
That you have to be a devil to beat a devil. So they already were calling.
So that's also foreshadowing as well,
right? They were already not only foreshadowing, but just a theme on the show in general.
Yeah, right.
So they were already calling Zeke a devil, and they were calling Erwin a devil to be able to beat these devils. And then you go over to this island that we learn about, Marley, and you learn what are they calling them the whole time.
Wait, pause. So the island is where we have been the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Marley is the mainland.
That's
Paradise. Yeah, Paradise Island.
Paradise Island.
You go to the mainland, and what have they been calling the Eldians?
The Eldians.
They've been calling them what?
Devils.
So like, that's so. I love it. I love the setup. It's meant to be a dark thing. I think it's a comment on war. I think it's a comment on losing yourself. I think it's a comment on death of innocence. It hits so many different narratives. And what the funny thing is, and I'll shut up here. It reminds me so much of Brotherhood.
Because of all the like army military type of things.
Army military distant world that we didn't know.
What you say when you say you're talking about like
similar to Berserk too, right?
Yeah.
Like with the Scar, like his
yes, he's talking about the Ishvaldians and stuff like that.
The Ishvaldians, that's okay, right.
The Ishvaldians.
Okay.
So, but the thing with that is that even when we talk about I guess like how war has affected everyone, and this was a big thing for me when I was watching it, right? And because we started out on the side of Eren and the rest of the people that we know from the island, right? It was hard for me to watch and try to sympathize with them, right? Remember the first 2 episodes in season 4, they were trying to get us to like sympathize with the Marlians.
I was there.
They did a really good job at doing that.
But I couldn't. The reason I couldn't though is because even when Reiner said it, Reiner was like, no, because so real quick. So there's a scene, right? Everybody watching, the viewers and all that stuff like that. So there's a scene in season 4. What happens is that Eren gets this little boy to bring Reiner down to meet him in the basement. They have a conversation face to face, and yes, Falco's his name. And they have a conversation in the basement. And what happens is that Eren, I think Eren asks if he should be forgiven or something like that, right? And Reiner says no, because I'm the one that told them to keep going. He said, I told them, they wanted to go, anyone to go home.
Yeah, that is true.
And Reiner said, no, don't forgive me, because I'm the one who said, let's go. It's my fault. Right? And so Reiner is the one that's living with it and dealing with the struggle of having to be on both sides. Right? And so for me, I was just like, nah, I didn't feel any remorse for Reiner at all. At all. I was just like, no, you deserve everything that's coming to you right now. Like, everything that's coming.
He wasn't incorrect about his thoughts, though.
Oh, no. I'm not saying he's incorrect about his thoughts.
But I'm just saying, it would have been bad.
Oh, you said, things would have been different, of course. But what I'm just saying is, like, when we're talking about the way it was written and how those first 2 episodes were, like, really trying to get you to be on the side of the Marlians emotionally, right? To understand where they were coming from and what they were doing and why they did it, right? That's what they kind of did. Those first 2 episodes were all that. Letting you know how the Titans were chosen, Reiner's backstory, all that stuff, right? It was to make you feel for the Marlians. And what happened was that because I started on Eren's side, I was just like, nah, I'm not here for it. Like, I'm not here for it.
Would you say the Marlians or the Eldians who live on Marley? Would you say that? I mean, I feel like it's...
No, I think
you can't just say Marlians because I don't know what the only Marlians that we really right. The Eldian.
I see what you're saying. So I guess what we go with here is we go with the fact that we're talking about, I guess, the Eldians. So the Eldians, because the thing is, when we talk about classism and racism, technically, right? it's in there. So, and it's on both sides. So like everybody from the island is a devil, and even the Eldians, right, are outcasts in Marley.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
that's
crazy?
why I can't really like feel bad for any of them.
They're using the Eldians to kill off their own kind, which is insane.
This is very much.
But
this is a comment on Germany.
But wasn't that the Eldians that swore their loyalty to the Marlians?
Say again, please.
The Eldians that was basically sacrificing themselves. Didn't they swear their allegiance to the Marlians? That's why
yeah.
Well, they had to.
Just to save their families.
Save their families.
Save their families.
Oh yeah, right.
It was that join or die.
You know that kind of reminded me of the Hugo branch, main branch. Then you have everyone, like, and basically if you weren't main branches, basically you were dirt.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of the thing was, but I don't think it's even just that. See, with the Hugo clan, it's a little bit different because people who were dirt were not part of the main branch, but there was nothing else to it. Here we find in Marley that the Eldians are necessary. However, they still treat them like garbage, and so the people are forced to find a way to be relevant so that their families can be relevant as well. And we see that in the growing up and the raising of the children in order to become Titans. They're trying to get them to be worthy to be Titans so their families can be worth something. And then if they, and in some points and cases, even with Reiner's family, right? Reiner's dad was afraid because he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't want him around.
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes on with that. So I think that's very different from
but
what
at the end of the day, regardless of how hard you work to prove your loyalty, at the end of the day, like they're just gonna say like you're not, pure blood like Marlene, like even though
you're not. They said you become what
your loyalty.
A notable Marlian or whatever.
You were good. Remember, that's why Reiner has respect. Reiner has respect because of what he's done. Zeke has respect because of what he's done. The same thing for
Zeke sold out his own dad, right? Is that what it was? Grisha was his dad.
Grisha,
yeah.
Aaron's half brother or some shit like that.
Yeah. So a lot of that is like what we find going on here, and I think that's why it's a little bit different.
Don't forget the train ride. The train ride is exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Look where they're riding. Look where Reiner is riding. He's riding in the front with all the Marlians on the train, whereas all the other people who are not notable, but they did great things, are riding in the back.
Back of the bus. So
and then it's a crowded cart too. It's a crowded cart, and they're like, "Do you want me to make them be quiet?" And they're like, "No, let them have their fun." They earn.
But that's the thing, and so we see that here. And so I want to get back to season 4 in general, and talking more Attack on Titan, because a lot of things I saw, a lot of things I thought were very interesting, and a lot of things that I thought were so that were not. So let's talk about, I guess, a big one for me, and that is one. It's a time skip, and now I knew it was gonna be a time skip because I got spoiled back at the end of the last season, and so I was spoiled about that, and so I knew it was gonna be a time skip. So now, but this is the thing with, and so even you guys stream, viewers, listeners, everyone who's in here with us, you can let me know in the chat. So the thing is, with the time skip happening in Attack on Titan, do you feel like that made it more intense for season 4? Do you feel like that was a good time skip or a bad skip? What do we think?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna be honest.
Go ahead.
Time skip kind of threw me off for losing Sasha. I feel like I would have felt more losing Sasha if it wasn't at that time skip. I don't know. I guess there was so much happening that I know how much I enjoyed Sasha's character. I didn't feel that bad when Sasha died for whatever reason.
I think it's because you grow to be like so accustomed to people dying in this show. So many main characters are just going. I think that's good. I like when they kill off characters in shows. I mean, it just adds that much more depth to it. And the writers just that much better for being able to pull stuff like that off, especially like when Erwin died, shit like that. Like
Erwin, man.
I know he's the best, but
forever go to hell.
This show is generally a really like fucked up show. I mean,
I don't think you're meant to. I don't think you're meant to be looked at as terrible if you don't feel bad when somebody dies because of how so many people have died.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's split. It's split. You're gonna.
But at the same time, as far as not feeling bad, this is like the only show that has like made you probably kind of feel what's going on with that person in that point in time and how they feel. I I don't remember that guy's. I think his name was Jack when the Beast Titan first appeared, and he was like slaying all these Titans by himself, and then the Beast Titan comes and he like kind of like gets him bound down by the other Titans, and I think the one like bites his leg off or something like that, or his arm. He's asking how the equipment works. Then he didn't say anything, and he just like kind of just like tosses him off to the rest of the Titans to eat him. It's just like right in that moment, I kind of just like feel like it's just crazy. I guess what they can bring out, you know, in this anime.
Yeah.
I mean, but that brings up an interesting point. So, do you feel that just because we know people are passing or going unexpectedly, does that mean that the deaths are like? Do you feel like they're less impactful? Because I feel like I still felt like a lot of them hurt me. When we lost Hans, I was tight.
Still grow with like that, you know, to like that character and to watch like how they die. It's still very impactful.
The only character that died, I would say, like where people felt some type of way was the Goated Man.
Erwin felt bad. Erwin felt bad, but so what's name felt bad too. The guy who protected them when they were children. Hans. When Hannes died, I hurt. I was like, no,
was shitty,
no, not like this.
I think that was the only one.
I felt for Erwin because he's my favorite character, but he went out like a man. So
yeah,
okay.
Like it made sense for Erwin. It made sense for Erwin to die. Not to say it made sense, and actually it's funny because. And this is the reason why I brought up how much we've talked about, Kyojin, because I would love to continue to come back and forth. I don't know if we're just specifically talking about season 4, because one of the things I thought about was that the right decision?
Oh, with
Erwin and
Armin.
Well, you know what? Yo, Ed, was that the right decision?
To me, yeah, man. Say my
I think
boy.
the show would have went
when
two
he
different
died.
directions though, had he resurrected Erwin.
I think it would have been a very different
I think what's his name was a little. I feel like Armin is a little more rational than Erwin. He's like pretty extreme and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, he's
like look what he did to like
that's
what I'm saying.
In the process,
like look what he did to freaking.
He's pretty selfish.
Take down that Beast Titan. I mean, I guess you could say selfish.
Well, think about.
Yeah, for sure.
That episode in itself, it's so funny because there's so many different ways to analyze the show.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No. I was just talking to myself. My bad.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think people need to go back and watch that episode one more time.
Yeah.
Because
which one?
Because it's the same. They die in the same episode.
Oh yeah.
It's so crazy. They both come up with an idea to take down the main Titan.
And the Beast Titan. And
what's his name? Yeah. Armin was the Colossal, and what's his name?
Erwin was the Beast.
The two big time Titans. Yeah.
Right. So that was amazing. I think it was phenomenal directing.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Have that in the same. It needed to be in the same episode. It had to be.
Like they both were willing to sacrifice themselves to make.
Right, because both of these guys are both coming up with great ideas.
I was gonna say and they both do.
So like for the both of them, like it was. I think it was phenomenal. I think. I think it came to the point of whose dreams were bigger.
No.
I think that's what it came down to.
How?
Yeah. Because Erwin's dream was not. It didn't go past the basement, whereas Armin's dreams were to
where he needed to, where he wanted to be, though. I mean, Erwin's drive was what his father's, I guess, drive as well to figure out exactly what was going on.
But
Armin was able to, come up with plans at such a young age. So basically, that shows potential. So
Erwin was already doing that too, though. Team.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
He was speaking out in his own
though.
class, like.
Yeah.
That flashback, Erwin's flashback. But this is all going towards what I'm saying. Like this show is like really a fucked up show because they have kids facing 10-year-old or whatever 12-year-old kids facing off one another to become something that's generally a killing machine, and they're experiencing war. They're seeing death. I mean, these guys are pretty much. They understand that once they become a Titan, they only have 13 more years to live. So you're pretty much gonna live to your mid-20s, and you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And then you have to be an Eldian at that, so you fully understand that you're killing off your own kind. They're using you to kill off your own kind.
Yeah, I think that's the messed up part out of everything, yo.
It's a comment on life. It's a comment on life, honestly.
It's crazy because like, what if Reiner, when Reiner, or Berthold, Reiner, and Annie went to Paradise Island, and they just decided, you know what, we're all just gonna turn on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't understand like what was really keeping them. I mean, I guess other than their family, think about it, from just turning over.
I have a question for the pillars that I already know. I kind of know the answer to already, but now do you get does it restart the number when you eat a new Titan?
I don't know. That's a good question. I was wondering if that was the case because
I
don't think so.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, no, I don't think so because when you look at
your lifespan.
Yeah, because the royal family from the island, they were still dying at a specific age, regardless of the fact of how many Titans they ate, or when they had the founders Titan's
right.
ability. They were still
Right.
dying at a certain age, and so it was just like I don't think that is the case. But what I do want to like piggyback on when you talk about taking the Titan's abilities, right? We have watched Eren take abilities and use them, and he definitely just ate that. First of all, every viewers, the Warhammer Titan is wild. All right.
Yeah, she was beast.
Let's start there. That is OD. Eren has that ability now, plus the founding Titan ability. He's got 2 big abilities. These are gigantic. That is wild. They just set him up to main character everybody. Like,
About time.
But the thing is, in Attack on Titan, I feel like whenever he's like the main character Titan, he was still getting his butt handed to him until he had to really adapt and come over it. And that's why I felt bad, because like I'm watching it, and at the time I'm watching it, I have my godson's with me, and he's like, "Oh, Reiner needs to go fight Eren." I said, "Eren already smoked Reiner 1D last time. He don't want that again.
On multiple occasions.
He don't want that again. He don't want that
That was
smoke.
what, twice maybe.
Yeah,
Not
twice.
at all. He got saved by Berthold. Ain't no more Berthold no more. Ain't no Berthold no more. Like,
There's nobody really
the dude was a
opposing
walking
Eren.
nuke.
until Armin is a walking nuke. That was wild when he blew up the docking area. I said, "Oh no,
Yeah.
that was crazy."
You don't want to do that.
I know, right?
He did. Yeah, when he seen it, he was like, "Oh,
I felt bad for him.
There's
yeah."
no water on the ground. The water was gone.
Nah, and the funny part is we didn't realize how wild that ability is, and that's why Berthold always did it when he was so high up. And I didn't realize that.
I have a question. He doesn't have a. So remember when he was there about to get killed? Rod Reese was about to make Astoria eat
Eren.
right? And he was losing confidence in himself. Ended up drinking or taking one of the vials to help get his power. I don't know what he wanted to do, but that's when he was able to harden his skin. Why? What did he take?
He ate the crystals. The crystals down there were special property crystals. Remember the ones in that area, so that
So he had to eat that in order to become.
he ate one of them. Exactly. Yes, he ate one. So
Wait,
when they
who
were
did
down,
this?
Eren, when they were down there in that little place when they were with Rod Rice and Astoria and
yeah,
Kenny.
right. Didn't it say hardening or something like on this thing?
Yeah, it said it. It was
Yeah.
like harden something like so. He took that. He ate the crystal or whatever, and then he was able to harden up parts of his body at will. That's where he got that ability from. So he can do that, and now he can harden his whole body pretty much because of the Warhammer Titan. He can create things on rip.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
All right, so viewers, the Warhammer Titan's ability, unless we could talk about that for a second. So the Warhammer Titan's abilities are broken. She literally created a hammer from thin air, right? She created spikes from the floor that were wild in size and length, and not only that, were fast upon being created, and are so sharp with so much power and velocity that they ripped right through Eren's entire body as a Titan. That fast, out of nowhere. And she doesn't even have to be in the Titan's nape to form it. There's so many
Yeah,
abilities.
that was wild.
But that's her downplay, though. That's a downplay. That's actually a bad part of the ability. That's a negative for it.
But it's not. You can't easily just get to her though.
I mean, I don't read.
Yeah,
I
The
don't.
only thing that was able to penetrate was the jaw titan. Other than that, like Eren tried and he couldn't.
He couldn't do it.
But it's still.
So she's there, but
It's still a. I think it's still a. I mean, granted, but I think that's something still to note that, like, if you know that she can't form, she's not inside the actual Titan.
But
The negative, because if you're able to sever it, then
I mean, he did, and then she just like did it
Right.
again and almost killed him.
Yeah.
You know, his attention was drawn away.
No, but that's the thing though. So that's us assuming that it has to happen that way. I don't read
Yeah.
the manga. Eren may still be able to be in the nape of the neck if he wants to. What if she can decide on where she's gonna be at and form the Titan from a different place, the same way she forms things and constructs? That's wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
Now Eren can do that too.
Seriously.
But isn't that the reason why he was?
But didn't Reiner do something similar to that?
No.
No.
Reiner
When he
has
was-
to just form.
Like he moved the when he was beating them.
conscious. You talking about the consciousness from his?
Yeah.
Can they all do that?
Yes,
I don't know.
apparently. I think they all can
Wait,
do
do
that,
what?
apparently. So remember when they were trying to smoke Reiner and they couldn't because he moved where his consciousness was, so therefore he didn't
Like
die. Remember
his
that?
foot or something.
Yeah, remember that? Do you remember when that happened? That was in like season.
That was the last season.
Yes, season 3.
So
So
that's when they blew off the nape,
Mhm.
and they finally got to him, and that was when it was finally gonna kill him. But he moved.
I think they blew his head off and his head grew back. It was
Yes.
like the last minute, like he
Oh
like,
yeah, that's right.
down to like his
That
foot
is
or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, they
That's
thought
how
they
he's able
killed
to
him, and
grow
he wasn't
his head
dead.
back.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. His whole head was like half of his head was off.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if I think because they only showed Reiner do that. I don't think they showed anybody else move there.
but I think it's an ability that they can all do because they can all have regenerative abilities and can move around stuff. And I think Eren is learning how to do that because remember, Eren was there without a leg the whole time he was undercover, and no one
Oh,
would
but
have
they
thought
always
that was
been able to
Eren.
heal like limbs and stuff like that.
But he could control it now. Remember, before Eren couldn't control when he was healing; it would just come back.
Hmm.
Now Eren was sitting there.
I was thinking
with
that's
it
maybe
off.
why he had like his leg, like like tied up like that with the bottom of the pants.
Mm.
I thought maybe if they have it like restricted, it won't grow.
I mean,
That's just
but
what I was thinking.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
that is what happened.
But maybe not. But what you said makes more sense though, if you ask me.
Yeah, but we see that Eren can now manipulate abilities in a way that is very, very strategic and very skillful. And
Yeah, he's
so,
kind of OP.
if we see Eren now growing to that level, being able to turn to a Titan at least 3 times, he did it 4 times in that episode, in this streak of episodes,
Yeah,
right?
he was like, I could keep going.
Exactly. Holy cow! He left his body up there, stuck in the spikes, jumped down, and turned into a Titan again. I was like, what is happening? And and Ed said something about that was really cool. Remember how the girl was stuck in the crystal?
Hmm.
She was
Yeah.
in the crystal, not connected to the Titan, and still made the Titan throw something at Eren.
Oh
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
no,
Is
I
it-
think
yes,
she
that
did
was
she
broken.
reconnect?
No, she recreated something.
He was
I think
holding
she
her though,
recon-
but he was holding her in his hand.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she
but
had
it's
to
still the
form something from the
freaking- yeah.
ground. It had to still touch the ground. It still had to form to come back up.
So
Yeah, I
think
think he.
but
he
did he
wasn't
rip
paying
it apart?
attention because his attention was being. Yeah, he
Okay.
did at first,
yeah.
and that's when he was trying to get in, and then the Jaw Titan came around.
Okay.
I think that when that came around, his attention was
Okay.
elsewhere.
We were
and then
talking
that's
about
when she
feeling
did
sad.
it again.
We were talking about feeling sad, and I do feel sad that Ymir is gone. I feel
Oh,
sad.
Aaron Fritz.
now you feel sad about that?
I feel better about her. Yeah.
No, that was that was pretty
Sasha was
something
spoiled
else.
for me, so I when I watched it, it was nothing. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't know
That's
that's
what
what
you
she
are.
went off to do. I didn't know she went off to die. I had no idea. Like,
Yeah,
That was gonna happen.
how did she become a Titan? Remember her backstory? They threw her off.
They showed it. They showed the backstory in Reiner's, remember? So
Yeah,
she
they threw
actually
her-
became a human, right? She became a human.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. She first turned into a Titan, found them, ate his friend,
Marcel.
had the jaw Titan, and then became human. But how did she become a Titan though? Nobody injected her when she was kicked off the when she was faking to be a goddess. You remember that?
Yeah.
So what made her become a Titan?
You know what? That's it. Stream, chat, if you know, let us know on the chat. And
Yeah, I
everyone
don't think they showed
and everyone
that.
who's just now joining us, we are talking Attack on Titan, season 4. So if you don't want to be spoiled, this is the warning for you right here. If you aren't already, please follow the channel here. Check out the Hashira podcast. The link is in the chat, where you can hear more of this anime nerd conversation and all that good stuff, right? So,
And,
Definitely all that good
Connie
stuff.
too. Connie's mom. She became a Titan. I don't know. Like no one knows how she became a Titan.
I mean, they still haven't really explained that to us, and I think they're doing that on purpose, and it's gonna pop up for us later on. It's gonna be like, bang, boom, here it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but his mom looked like one of the idiot Titans though. She wasn't like
Yeah,
one
she
of the
couldn't
good
even
ones. You know what I'm
move.
saying? Yeah, she was just laying there
messed
looking
up
at him.
limbs.
The huff nose.
Yeah,
Smoke.
She was
she
retarded.
definitely ate Marcel. Yeah, thanks, J Pounds. She did, and so that's the thing with that. It's just like that is wild. It's just
Yeah, I don't know how she became. They don't explain how Connie's mom and Ymir became Titans. 'Cause
Yeah.
They did. I thought that you needed to be injected to be a Titan. I thought all those Titans were formed from, Marley sending people off to their doom. You find out that's not the case.
You did it. Never mind.
And that's crazy that Connie's mom was still
Yeah, I
able
think
to
the same
talk as a
thing.
Titan.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no explanation yet. I think she killed his father. Is that what happened?
She killed who's dead?
Because remember, he had the picture. It showed his father and his mom in his hand. I think she
Yeah.
did kill the father though.
Oh, she ate him, yeah.
Yeah, I think she ate him.
Probably.
Before she was stuck there on top of the building or whatever.
I think so.
Laid out.
Just laid
Top of
out.
the house.
Can't move. And I think they're trying to figure out how to turn it back into a human. Apparently, there may be a way to turn them
I
back
don't
into
think-
humans. I don't know.
I think. Well, if there is a way to turn them back into humans and stuff like that, I guess we'll find out later on how they decide to reveal that to us. Because honestly, I think that what we're starting to see now is, since everything is coming to a head, all those random mysteries that are being left out are going to come back to us full circle now, right? And with that going on, I'm so excited for us to be going back to the island, because I want to know what's changed at the island in these last couple of years has passed, because it's a big thing for them to have a flying device to get them out of somewhere. That's a big
Right.
change.
Yep.
And so anybody who's been watching Attack on Titan, you know that that is a big change. There's a big difference when we're talking about what's going on in the world of Attack on Titan, as opposed to where we left it a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So even with the new weapons that they have and new suits that they have and all that stuff, and using the weapons that they got from Kenny and them, right? The guns, we're starting to see what it means to really adapt, be prepared for war with the different types of people, or I guess people in general, because Levi is the one that said we're not just fighting Titans anymore, right? That was Levi, right? When they started fighting against Kenny and them.
Yeah.
And so I think it's finally dawning, well, it must have dawned on them over the years that they had to do this for real, and we find ourselves here. So, but my question to y'all is, what the heck is Zeke doing in cahoots with the people from the island? And I'm glad Levi is still threatening him. All right. What is up with that?
I think he got no choice, man. I think he probably keeps getting whipped by Levi. That's why he said it when he was like, "Oh, it looks like you still trying to kill me. Or like you want to kill me."
He said, you're a good actor.
You know, he's keeping him in check. Like, yeah, word. Like, the heck? You act up. You getting killed, so you gonna help us out.
Act up, you good actor.
Act up,
Act
you
up,
gonna
you get smacked
snatched
up. Come on.
Oh shoot.
I'm out.
But that's real though. And I guess when we talk about Levi, we're definitely talking about the fact that Levi is so good a character and so good at what he does that he's a check. My man is the check. He's the check. When they saw him, they were like, Ackerman, oh no. Like
Yeah, well, they know about him. That's funny.
Which is interesting because now you want to know about the connection of the Ackerman on Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like, what about them in there over there? You know?
Well, even if
I feel like
there was
there's
no
more of a
connection-
Well, I feel like they
Ackerman's
talked
only-
about them last season, no? With the whole Kenny thing.
They
Yeah.
did, but they
Kind of
didn't
brought
go
up how
into
crazy
depth.
they were.
I don't
That's
think
what I'm saying.
They were just
Just
always, like,
Levi
good
by
fighters.
himself make just an insane name for himself. Like,
Yeah.
everybody would probably come back like, "Yo, this guy just fucked us all up." And
I
it's
mean,
just
well, we
Levi
know
by
that
himself.
Zeke had to go back and tell him. Cause
Yeah.
that's what happened to Zeke.
that's a possibility too. Yeah, because he has been bragging about. I mean, everybody brags about Levi. Remember, you got to remember too. Before Zeke even went into fighting, went to fight with them, but that's when we lost Irwin. The first thing Reiner and Berthold said, "Yo, look out for Levi," and Zeke was like, "Who I gotta look out for?" Okay.
He was like, oh, I think he said, wait, what did he say? Oh, which one is Levi? And as soon as Levi appeared, did that move, he was like, Levi.
Yeah.
Like, yep, that's it.
Like, yep. Before you knew it, yo.
Who came to Zeke's? But why did they make it seem as if it was only Reiner and Berthold and Annie's defeat, as if Zeke wasn't on Paradise as well?
Well,
They made
because Zeke was sent after them to come get them back when they messed up. Remember, they were sent by themselves. Once they didn't come back in time, then Zeke was sent to come get them. That's why. That's why. Yeah, he was the
And
reconnaissance and
that's crazy
recovery.
that Zeke beat the shit out of Reiner. Oh, was that season
Here we go.
3? What was that season 3? He beat the shit out of him. And just smoked him. It's like,
Zeke beat
I
Reiner?
would. Yeah, he beat the shit out of him. Was talking about insubordination. I mean, came back just to get all them back. I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not really crazy when you think about it, but what is crazy to me when you think about it, the Beast Titan has some good abilities and is very mobile, right? We see that is a thing that's going on. He has very good accuracy and control of his abilities, his strength, and all that stuff. But what is interesting to me is what Reiner's Titan seems like it should be a lot better than it is. Is Reiner just not good at using his abilities, or what? Like, what is it about Reiner?
Somebody told Reiner that he should have never even been a Titan in the first place. What he was like, yeah, my brother was way better than you, or something like that, and I was downplaying him the whole time to save him.
Yes,
so he could have a full life. He's like, you didn't really deserve to be the Titan in the first place. So I think Reiner naturally he sucks.
Well, don't forget how they went, because they had the process. My bad. Go ahead, Kadeem. That's what you're saying.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't say Reiner sucks, but he just
compared to the person that should have been the was that Porco? What was that his name?
Well, yep.
Yeah, Porco should have been the Armor Titan in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I mean, because it's funny because we get to see that what Jaw is about, and Ymir was not even using Jaw Titan at all to its best extent at all. We didn't get any claws from her. We just got this little running around baby. Yeah. Like,
that actually opens up to the next segue. So let's do it like that. So let's talk about it. Everybody who's viewing and watching with us, we're talking Attack on Titan again, just so you know. And since we're here, let's do it. Since we're talking about Titan of powers and abilities, what are some Titan powers and abilities that stick out to you? What are they? Like what? You know what? All of us, let's pick one, and then we'll go around and pick another one. What are some Titan abilities?
We haven't seen them. We haven't seen them all though, so that's kind of.
I know, but from what we've seen, you can still pick one.
Okay.
What is it? 9, right? There's 9 in total.
I think was it 7? It's 9.
No, it's 9. It's 9. I think it's 9. Yeah.
It is
you got the Attack Titan, Warhammer, Jaw, Beast,
Heart,
Armor.
She just called the Woman Titan. Apparently, I don't know.
Female Titan.
Yeah.
No, the female Titan.
Yeah.
Female Titan.
There's Cart Titan.
Cart.
Which one? Cart Titan.
Yeah, the cart.
Yeah.
They had the guns and stuff on his back. The one that saved the one that saved Zeke the first time. That's the Cart Titan.
So that was her.
Yeah, the girl with the black hair.
Yeah. Piek or something like that. Piek. Yeah,
that was her. That was on Paradise as well. All right, yeah. So you have Cart.
My favorite one is the Beast Titan, man, because he's just throwing rocks at everybody.
Yeah, he's
with maximum accuracy.
Oh, he did it like a sport, yo.
Yo, that's his ability, man. He's just throwing rocks. I was like, what?
He controls the other Titans as well, doesn't he? Remember, he was telling them.
I think he was just Beast though.
That's
true. He was telling them what to do.
I mean, but who gonna say no to him? Wasn't he killing them himself?
Yeah, he was smoking.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm gonna listen to this dude.
I'm surprised that Titans even have that much, mental capacity. He's alpha like that. You know what I mean? So
I think it's like a telepathy thing. With
he's super tall too.
One of the Divine Nine.
Bro, the Beast Titan is unnecessarily tall. Like I was like, yo, what is happening?
No, Colossal's unnecessary tall.
He's wild. He's wild. The Colossal Titan.
That's who I would pick, man. The Colossal. Just, at any given moment, this dude's about to just blow the whole shit up. There's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah, that's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. Like like it's so much power. Though. So you're a nuke, right? And you have power because you're tall and you're bigger in size than every other Titan as well. If he kicks you, remember when didn't he kick Eren one time? Was it like he kicked the Titan or something? He kicked somebody and it was just like
it was Eren because Eren grabbed him on the leg.
Yeah, exactly. That's OD.
They thought Eren was pushing him back, and really it was just him like setting it up.
When his legs to kick him, that's funny.
Like he's pushing him back. Oh wait.
He was so tall. He literally you just saw his head.
I'm gonna say the Armor Titan for me.
Just peek over the wall.
Because
one, he looked cool, but like the way Reiner uses the Armor Titan, me personally, if
like running through stuff,
like it would be like. I feel like he would be able to use that to full capacity because he has like a fighting style. Reiner it's more like force.
Reiner sucks,
but he's not good against the other Titans though.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying Reiner beat.
That's not great because it's Reiner using it.
I don't know.
Watching him use it, you're just like, yo, it's so much more that this Armor Titan could do.
Reiner sucks.
Do you think the armor is more, like it hardens more as the
probably, and he could probably focus all the armor in one area to make it solidify one area. Make it as an offensive weapon.
I thought that was his whole body.
I think.
I'm saying like you can shift
I don't know,
the
like
plates,
because
shift, like the armor
Yeah, I
plates.
mean, I think that the people that's beating him up are just stronger than him, and that's it.
No, that's what the female Titan does. She selectively picks a spot in her body to harden. Reiner's whole body
I
is
know
just...
what I'm talking about if he could move the plates, that the armor plates that he has on his body.
I don't know if he can move the plates. I haven't seen him move.
I don't
the
think he
plates or
needs
nothing
to.
like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't know if there's like a
he
tier
doesn't
list
use
for
it to
Titans,
to-
but maybe
to-
he's just not that good compared to the ones that are beating him up.
that's what I'm saying. Like because like
Which
if
is
that's
every
the-
single one of
if
them,
that's
right?
the case, then that
Nah, not
not
really.
even Reiner being in that Titan, but like that Titan in itself just may not be that great. If you
That's what I'm saying.
Reiner,
Like,
no, Reiner just sucks, bro.
you think
It
so?
has to be. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Because like if you think
And
about
I-
it, he has armor,
It
right?
makes sense though.
What's the difference between him having armor and other Titans being able to harden this?
yeah, I think the female
Ah,
Titan could beat him.
Yeah,
You think she's
No.
strong enough to penetrate his armor?
I
Yes.
think so.
Oh.
She hardens her hand.
Back shots and front shots.
Whoa!
Yo,
But you know why?
She hardens her armor with the fist. Yeah, I think so.
No, but you know why we
No,
know
I
that?
don't
No,
think
Ed,
so.
Ed. No, yes. You know why we know that already? Because that's what Aaron does. Remember, Aaron just did it. He literally hardened his
What
fist
do you
and punched him
mean?
in the face.
So you think so? You gonna put her on the same level as Aaron?
We're
With the-
talking about
with
the
the-
hardening
the
ability.
hardening
I don't think
ability.
that-
Yeah,
hardening
but
ability.
I don't think
obviously,
she-
but there's different levels to that hardening ability. Obviously, he
Yeah,
couldn't
def-
break through.
I don't know.
The whatchamacallit.
Right.
He
But
couldn't
like I
break
said,
through to get the Warhammer.
Reiner's fighting style. Reiner doesn't have no technique. He doesn't have.
But screw Reiner though.
She does when she
Reiner
fights. You
sucks.
see it.
No, screw Reiner though. Screw
But that
Reiner.
don't mean. But still, like if you
Specifically
can't
talking about
penetrate
the-
his armor, like what's the point?
That's
He
what I'm
got
saying. That's
to
what I'm
get
saying.
you
Like
once.
Reiner's not smart enough to like. She's like her fighting style. Like she has a technique.
But this is what I'm trying to say. This is the argument I'm bringing up. Like, and this is where, because as Edwin said, he's thinking that this is what my argument against, or not argument, but this is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Edwin's saying is that there is a density change depending on who the Titan is using it,
Yeah.
the hardening ability.
That's
I
part
don't
of it.
think there is. I think that they all have the same density when it comes to hardening that ability. And if that's the case, then the armor Titan is trash. Like I think that's where the armor stays. I don't think even the armor doesn't get harder. So like
Yes, but that's what I'm saying too.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that Titan is just not that good, and the ones that are beating him up are just better Titans, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Nothing
I
else
agree.
to it.
yeah, that's possible.
Because
I just think
like I
Reiner
said,
sucks,
like
though.
I said with the War, I mean, yeah, he probably does, but I'm just saying, like with the Warhammer Titan, Aaron cannot get through.
Right. Yeah.
He can't break
So-
it, but the Jaw Titan came, and that's when he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, you can break this? Okay, let me use you."
Yeah.
He
Even when
makes
he,
sense,
though.
even when go ahead.
Because- No, I'm just saying it makes sense because Reiner should have never been that Titan in the first place. I think that if it was Porco,
I think if you put anybody in that Titan, it'll probably be the same thing.
It's gonna be the same thing.
Really?
Yes. The Titan is
I don't
just
know,
Titan-
'cause it
Titan
also
wise.
goes. It
But
also
the,
goes back
obviously
to
the
what-
use,
okay.
what
the
Kadeem was
use
saying.
of the Titan is that's going to be different because it's the person's brain,
Yeah.
Right.
you know. But I'm
But the
saying like the
abilities of
Titan
the
wise,
Titan-
I don't think that just because if
Oh,
I'm the
just
armor
based
Titan,
on-
it's going to be trash. But then if Kadeem gets it, Kadeem's super strong and is just beating everybody out because it's Kadeem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We know it'd be reversed, but
Oh, here we go.
Although, wait, but although I'll say this, the only thing that somebody could say to combat what Edwin and I are saying is the fact that Ymir couldn't get out the full jaw.
That-
You see, boom, right there.
So maybe if somebody else took
But that's-
maybe the armor would look different. Maybe
Just,
like,
just
I
like
don't-
how
I'm getting
Artemis-
at it. Had it been
the
somebody
Colossal
else,
Titan
I
looks
think it'd be a
completely
little
different from Bertholds.
say again.
The Colossal Titan looks different from Bertholds. Like,
Does it?
Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No,
It
it
looks the same.
doesn't.
It looks the same.
no.
Mhm.
Same height, same explosion.
Same bald head, even though what's the name had a lot of
Okay,
chest
but
hairs.
I'm
not
talking
the
about the
same.
whole face
Berto
structure.
did look weird though when he had like there was times where wasn't he like half a body or something like that?
That's because
Yeah.
he already used the steam thing first, though. No.
Yes.
That's the steam thing first.
Yeah,
though?
he was using he was using half the body to form it in order to just use smoke instead of causing full explosion.
Right.
So Berthold was controlling and manipulating how much of himself was forming, which is honestly a skill that seems to be pretty ridiculous. But that's what he was doing. Yeah.
Okay, see that's another thing that you just said is a skill that he has that he knows about the Colossal Titan. Just like what Travis said with the Jaw Titan, that she wasn't able to form the jaw.
Right.
But you never know someone different who had the capability of bringing out the potential of the armor.
Wouldn't we have believed that Reiner would have been able to finally
No,
release
'cause
this
he
armor?
was
Like
not
he's had
supposed
so much
to
time in
be.
this damn thing.
I'm not
He
gonna say
was
it's because he
trash.
wasn't supposed to be the Colossal Titan. It's just
And I
that
think that's how it's gonna be from here or forever because he was just not supposed to be that. I mean, I just think
because that's how they just said it. It's like, yo, you weren't good like to begin with.
We already
because I didn't want my siblings to get stuck with it.
Yeah, because in all honesty, Berthold actually was a beast, and we didn't realize that until that fight when he came in. Because like when he had his resolve, remember the kick that he gave to Mikasa?
Aaron.
Mikasa when she came at him, sliced his ear, he dodged it. She didn't even expect that dodge. Then after he dodged, he came back with a kick, and she was like, "I feel like I'm fighting a whole different Berthold." That's what she said.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember.
Yeah, because he was skillful. Like that's the reason why he was chosen. I think he only got tripped up because of his emotions. If Berthold had his good resolve, he would have been a force to be reckoned with. Honestly,
Berthold always seemed pretty depressed, as a character.
Yeah, even as a kid.
He was just lost.
Yeah,
I mean, right in the beginning when they sent him they said they wiped off that whole country. He was sitting in like some little hangar, like in the corner, like this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he like cuts his finger and then boom, he blows the whole shit up. I mean,
but I think that goes to show about like the importance of character. All right, it wouldn't be the Hashira podcast if I, Ryan Date, did not say anything about character development or characters in anime, and I think I have to say it right here. Oh no, I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna get there in a second. I am. So hold on, don't even do that. I'm gonna get there. So what I'm going to say is that Berthold as a character, right? We only saw him kick it up a notch when it was time for him to do so. At times when he was protecting people, he didn't care about himself much. But once you endangered the people around him, that's when he got serious. So remember when he was up there fighting them when they were trying to take Eren, he turned around and like cut off half his body so he could fall down and save Reiner. And that's an ability we didn't even know he could do. He was up there fully fighting and was like, all right, I see Reiner's in trouble. Let me just make sure I fall apart. Half my body's gonna fall over the thing so I can land on Eren and save Reiner. Right? And then like Travis is saying, when he was fighting with Mikasa, is at that time everyone else was in trouble. He was like, oh no, I gotta turn it up here. I have to turn it up here, or else. And then you see that from Berthold. And even with that, Berthold was always trying to protect Reiner as a person. He was like, don't get so connected to them, because then you're not gonna be able to make the proper decisions, and you're gonna put yourself in danger. That's the only time we really saw like Berthold put his foot forward, right? Yeah. And I find that very interesting with a character like that we were talking about, who's always to himself and shelled in, and at those times when he's supposed to be all ferocious is only when he's worried about someone else, right? And that's Berthold's character, right? And we see a lot of that in this show, where there's a lot of people like Armin, who's very intelligent and makes a lot of big changes when it's time to do so, when everything is on the line. Then you see Armin make the necessary sacrifices, because I don't think he wanted to blow up all those people in the water. That's obviously not something Armin wanted to do, but he had to do it.
He gets really conflicted when he's under pressure, but he ends up making the right decision all the time.
Right.
So
they play with the word "have to" as well. That's a great thing about Attack on Titan. They play with this thing "have to."
Oh, my back is against the wall.
Like, what does it mean to have to do something? Like, I mean, the way it seems as if they didn't know Eren was going to do what he did, and they came to his rescue anyway, and they knew in order for us to rescue him, we were going to have to turn it up.
Bro,
so
it's constantly life and death.
With the word "have to," like, did Armin really have to blow up himself? I guess so, in order for him to get away on that blimp. You know what I mean? Like, but he didn't want to do it. But this is war. But darn it, Eren, here you are putting us into this thing.
That's what what's her name was saying.
Hanji. That's what Hanji said.
Yeah, she was mad. She was like that. We losing trust in you, and you keep getting trust in us because you be doing wild stuff, and we got to go and get you.
Yeah.
And because you're doing this, we starting not to fuck with you no more. I was like, oh shoot.
I think also the awesomeness pertains to characters and in general. Let's even talk about that. Let's talk about who actually had the better. It's so funny because Reiner didn't even have the best resolve, and Reiner's the only one that made it off the island. It's always those people who don't have the best mindset, or I think
don't deserve it.
Is special, who's not really special, come back from war. Remember the guy who
Erwin, man.
Not only him, he didn't come back, but
100%.
The person. All right, so Erwin was somebody's successor.
Yeah,
he was what's his name, successor, who was good friends with Eren's dad. If you remember, he was the one that was training them. He went to train. He stepped down as a commander and went into training because he didn't want to be a part of that anymore, because he realized he was not even special. And then he tampered with somebody's equipment. You know what I mean? So like, and then Aaron still beat the odds and was able to stand up straight on the balance belt or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dang,
that
I
was
don't
season
know
one.
the name of the thing.
this guy came back
Like
from
years.
every single session, every time.
Yep.
Reiner was not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Reiner's the only worst person that made it back from paradise. If you look at that,
But he got saved. Remember, Marcel saved him. He would have died already.
he would have died already.
Remember, Marcel pushed him out the way. He was already
Supposed to be
dead.
gone so many
He was
times.
already dead.
So they play with this thing about if you're special, you're actually meant to die. Like, you know, like if you're meant to do something in this world, hence the reason why they put the 13 years on these Titans. Look at like it's just phenomenal.
But even with that, when we talk about that, so let's talk about that. All right, let me calm down. I'm hyped. So what happens is, remember the guy who was working with the Scout Regiment, who was literally the second best person beside, like, I mean, we like Mikasa because she's the main character, but remember, he was the second best person with the gear because he wanted to be like Levi. Remember, he used to act cool. He did all that stuff. He's OD. But like, I forgot his name. It was like Mitch or something like that. He was like trying to be Levi, so he was almost as good because he was trying to be just like him. And he ended up being stuck out there with no gas, no fuel against the Beast Titan, and still putting up a fight by himself. But like Travis was saying, he was special. He was obviously very good at what he did, and we lost him just like that. And we just found out how good he was in those 2 episodes. Remember? It was like 3 episodes where they explained how good he was, what he was about, how he was trying to be who he was, and then it's like, dang, he has no fuel against the Beast Titan. I'm like, what? That just was crazy. I was like, why would they set us up like that?
We even saw Reiner lose his mind at a certain point. Don't forget when Marco overheard them talking about what they did, and then Marco was like, "Please tell me you guys are joking." And then Reiner was like, "We gotta kill this guy because now he heard us." And while they're killing him, Marco was like, "Why? Why is Marco getting eaten?" Like he totally forgot that he just set up Marco.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. This show is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they experience all this stuff at such a young age, man. It's like ruined these kids.
It is a lot to take in. It's a ton of a lot to take in.
I mean, since episode 1, these guys are at war. We didn't even realize they're at war with a whole nother place. But like, Aaron is like, "Oh, I hope something happens today," and all of a sudden, like 20 minutes later, his mom's getting eaten.
By his father's
Yeah,
by his stepmom.
By his stepmom, his father's other wife. Like,
insane.
not
what
like
are the
this.
chances?
What are the chances? What
are the
chances?
chances?
And that is the thing that like really just gets me with this show is that there's so many parts and things that are happening all the time that are throwing you for a loop, that are out of the box, that are like just ridiculous. And so I think that the time skip and some of the stuff that was kind of funny and weird at the end of the 3rd season, that was just like, oh, this is kind of weird. But then the 4th season started, you're like, it's going back to normal. We're okay with this. Like, it's back to being Attack on Titan, all the randomness, all of the like weirdly thought out stuff, and we're still trying to figure out some mysteries that we're hoping will come full circle because it says final season, right? So we know we're coming to a close here, and we want to see what's going to happen. And I just think that it's very interesting that the way that they're writing this stuff out. And I still feel like the whole time the episode's playing and it's like Assassin's Bullet and you see Gabby running around with this daggone gun in her hand, I'm like, who's gonna get shot? You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole time, it wasn't until she got on the ship, until Connie gets on the ship and hugs John and Sasha, and I'm like, damn, one of them are gonna die. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's when it hit me. That's when it hit me. Is when he hugged the both of them, I was like, oh no, not like this. Not like this. And I was tight because they outlived some crazy crap, and she died saying meat. That's wild. Like,
Sasha's special. Sasha's special.
Sasha was special. She was absolutely amazing.
It's this thing which makes me know we haven't lost everybody.
Because remember Connie's special.
Probably gonna die.
But Connie's special. Remember, so that's why it could have been Connie too. Because we saw that Connie had he had above normal abilities with his gear. Connie was one of those people. And so you're like, yo, we could have lost Connie here too if we're going on the basis of special people being taken out.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, and the funny part is, but this is the thing that gets me for a loop. See, and Travis did it. That Travis, man.
Travis did it.
The goose did it to me. Armin is special.
Yeah.
Very special. And he did die. But he's still with us now with some bigger abilities. So he is the outlier to the rest of our information group in the sample size. And I find that very interesting when we're looking at characters in Attack on Titan and what can happen as we go forward in the future.
I would say Historia is even an outlier.
Yes.
I say that as well.
Yes, she is.
I think she's an outlier. I think she's going to outlive people at the end of this thing. I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose Mikasa. I think we're going to lose Eren. I think Armin's
At
going to
some
stay
point,
around.
you already know he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do know that. You're right.
Well, they don't know what happens when you have
He'll
all
die
the,
at some point.
they don't know what happens when you have all the
Earlier than they
all
should.
the Titans in your body, though, right? I mean, maybe that negates something.
It's still the same. It's still the same thing.
It's the same thing.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, it's
I
still
mean,
the
well,
same thing.
I mean, there are some things that could be different. We still don't understand all the things about the Titans. We haven't got everything revealed to us. Of what
Wait,
turns you into them
did
until
they say how the Titans came around?
Did they? No, they just had a founder. They don't say how the Divine Nine came
Okay.
about.
No, I got spoiled by that. I know. I thought they did that.
No, I don't think they did. That's what I'm saying. Like
I could have
they
sworn
nine.
they explained that to some extent.
Well, let's not do it on camera because
Sure.
I won't give it to everybody.
I'm not sure if I don't remember that being explained.
Okay, so
Viewers,
good.
watchers, if you know how they came around and you want to put it in the chat.
Nah.
And
No, I think
thanks
Tom
for
was saying he could
watching,
explain. I think that's
stuff
what Tom was saying. I think he said he could explain. But I was like, if he can, then let's not do it on here. Let's do it elsewhere. But
I could explain. I know how, but like I said, I thought the.
no, it didn't happen in the episodes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Another thing, how do the Fritz and the Rice separate? Like, because I know that the Rice are of royal family, but we only know really of the Fritz being of Ymir Fritz, being she's Zeke's mom, she's of royalty, obviously. How does the Fritz and the Rice when did they divvy?
I thought Ymir was a false god, though, right?
No, not that one. The because they have the same name.
Oh, you're talking about the
the
original?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, like how did that family separate? Like what made the Rice part of the royal blood as well? Like why are they of royal blood? I don't think they talk about that lineage yet.
Do they need to talk about that?
I would like to know. I'm curious.
They go in depth. I know they go in depth on it.
I mean, they
They
touched
do?
on it
They touched
on
it already?
a good amount last season, I believe.
Yeah, I was about to
No,
say. I
no.
Last
This season they're going to.
I don't think they
thought they talked about it when they captured Eren. Didn't they explain
Right.
those
They
families?
showed that
during that?
flashback and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Historia's
With the-
flashback with her dad and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
yeah. When they wanted her to eat Eren.
They only showed Yuri.
No, yes,
and Rod.
no.
They only
didn't.
showed Yuri and Rod and how their family is Rice. They didn't say anything about Fritz, did they? I have to go back.
Nah, maybe not.
I don't think they did. They
Nah,
only
they
talked about
didn't.
Rice.
From what Ed that they didn't.
Yeah. So like, I want to understand that whole Fritz part, the Fritz and the Rice part, because like they don't really talk about that. All they talk about is Fritz and how Fritz were, with possibly maybe, like how they, I think the Asians, because they speak about how Asians can't be manipulated by, I think so far they only said that the Rice can change your, can erase your memory.
Yeah.
The Rice family can erase your memory. I guess the story didn't get that power, but Rod did, maybe. So I'm curious about that because if they're direct descendants of the founding Titan, and we know the founding Titan is the one that erased their memory to begin with, because he didn't want them to wage war, he just wanted peace. Again, that founding Titan's last name was what? It was Fritz. It wasn't Rice. So like I'm still trying to understand that.
Yeah, I guess that is really important to this story.
Yeah.
But I feel like the thing with that is, well, actually, you know what? Let me not do this. So, I have to do this one time because it's not the Hashira podcast of me, Ryan Date, aka Date Ryan Sama. What does not bring up the fact that there is Code Geass thing is happening. So I want to let you know that based off of the way that this starts with Eren, he is very Lelouch-like. He has decided to go forth with whatever it is he has planned, regardless of the people that have to die, in order for it to happen. Deciding that he was going to transform underneath everybody was a way that we see his character changing, like you guys were talking, like Travis was talking about in the beginning of this episode, talking about the way that Eren is changing from who we knew him to be to what he is now, right? Being able to say, I don't mind killing all these people in order to do what I need to get done is a very, very Lelouch-like thought, one. And two, it shows us what is happening with Eren as a whole. Not only that, when Sasha gets smoked, he actually starts to chuckle first before he starts to feel despair, because he's going through the changes of understanding the weight of which he has to carry with himself as he goes forward. And I feel like those are big changes when we look at Eren Yeager for who he was to who he is. And that is a lot, because before he was just like, I'm super main character gonna beat up all the Titans and that's it, to now I've been shaped and changed by all the experiences in my field of experience, and now I have to act accordingly and deal with things accordingly. And I think to me that is a big thing for one, a main protagonist, and two, a show and an anime that's been written the way that it is. And that to me stands out a lot.
Well, for one, I think he adapted that from Erwin, because what you explained is pretty much how Erwin was living his whole life. I mean, they were going out on all these missions, and they were all these people were dying. They were coming back, not coming home to their family, and Erwin didn't really say anything or say sorry to anybody or anything like that. It's like, yo, you guys all died, but you died for my cause and what I had to do. And then, as far as, Eren changing like that to me, it almost seems a little Sasuke-like in a sense, man. Like, he's all gung-ho about doing like one specific thing, but you start to learn more and more about what the hell is going on, and you start to change your whole goal and your whole outlook on everything, like completely changes on into something else.
I don't know, you guys said two things. One, all right, first thing is it's very interesting that people bring up the fact that he was snickering when he learned that Sasha died. I think he was laughing at the fact that he was thinking back to the past memory that she had brought the food out and said, "Hey guys, we could eat some meat."
Yeah, of course. It was
I don't think he was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I would have laughed too. Like, I think he was crying and laughing. I don't see why that was I don't deem it as a negative thing. Not to say you were saying that, Maurice, but I don't deem it as a negative thing. It's very interesting, like, because I've seen people talking about it. I'm like, I don't look at that as like him changing or anything like that. I think it's possible that anyone would have laughed because of the fact that he's like, if she would have said something different for her last mark, I don't want to die, maybe he would have been sad. The fact that she said meat is the reason why he laughed, and I would have laughed too. And I'll say that meat. And to the point about the because I don't want to. We can't really keep on putting him side by side with certain characters, right? Like, granted, yes, in order to get an understanding, let's put him side by side with somebody. But I wouldn't put him side by side with Erwin, because Erwin legit said, "I don't want to die." Like, that's the reason why I do the things I want to do, is because I want to live as long as I can. And he even said that
You said Erwin?
Yeah, Erwin. Yeah. He said that.
He wanted to live.
That's not what Eren is doing. It's totally different than what Erwin. Erwin is all about. Erwin is selfish. That's the reason why Erwin.
That's what I'm saying.
But Erwin's not selfish, though.
I'm not saying I'm not calling Eren selfish, but in the his demeanor as far as doing what he has to do and not really, because somebody said, I think that was Maurice said, he's doing what he has to do regardless of who dies and what happens. I mean. And to me, that was Erwin's, his MO. Like, I have to reach my goal. I have to do what I have to do. I'm taking all these people with me to get this done, to help me. And if you die along the way, then that's on you. But I still have to push forward and do what I need to do.
But I don't think that's Eren's thoughts, though. That's not Eren. I can't say that's Eren's thoughts. Erwin was like, remember that one picture where they showed Erwin thinking back about how many, I think this was the point where he knew he was about to die. So he thought about all the bodies that he was standing on, right?
And that's when it finally hit him, right?
Exactly. That's Erwin. Eren's not the same in that retrospect. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he's thinking about standing on bodies. Erwin knows he's standing on bodies. So like, that's why I don't want to.
I don't think he cared, though.
I do think that Eren cared because of who Eren is per se, and I think that's why it probably hit him so hard when Sasha died. So again, I'm not saying that he chuckled because he didn't care. Obviously, I think he chuckled because it was a funny joke. But I do think that he was dealing with the trauma at first, and the Eren that we knew would not have laughed at all at someone passing. That's not something Eren would have done at all in the beginning. That's what I was saying. Eren would not have laughed. He would have got really upset or something like that. He would have never. He would not have laughed. That chuckle was a very added on thing that happened in the maturation of his character. So as we are coming to the close, again, thanks everybody who's been watching and viewing with us and been part of this conversation. Again, please, anything that you have to add on from Attack on Titan, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And feel free, of course, to, join the conversation. And you don't have to do it in the comment section below, because you could do it with us on stream. So, with that being said, I have to do the last end-all, be-all thing where I pose a question to the pillars, and I pose a question to you, the viewers, and hopefully you guys will answer it with us. And so, that question to you all, the question that I have for you, regarding Attack on Titan, would have to be, I guess this: what happens now? Like, they're headed back to the island after Eren has obtained a new ability. They have Zeke with them, right? I don't necessarily know why. Unless you guys know where it was explained why Zeke is working with them or whatever the case is. I know Ed was saying, he ain't got no choice because, he don't. He would be dead if Levi got a chance to smoke him, right? We know this. But what do you think happens now? What do you think is, like, one thing that you think comes out of the end of this last episode?
I think I think Eren might want to, like, take over everything and basically free everybody from Paradise Island and bring them over to Man, whatever it's called. Yeah, that's what I think because you remember him and whatchamacallit and Armin always spoke about, like, there's the ocean, this is this. So, he feels that y'all deprived us of this for no reason.
Yeah, that was their initial, like, dream. All the three of them to see the ocean.
Really going to try to fulfill that.
Wow,
he might sacrifice himself for it, or he might not, but that's what I think. Eren trying to do.
I would like to add to that, though, versus him bringing everyone over to the other island. I just feel like Eren is just gonna press the reset button and just, like, try to find a way to just start over everything.
Not maybe everybody, but, like, the people that he wants to be with him.
Right, and just probably, like, basically, like, Lelouch, start over everything and build it the way he, sees everything. Like, simple. But and it probably, in that process, like what Ed said, he's probably going to sacrifice himself while doing that. But, I just feel like that's what he just want to. Hard reset,
Hard reset.
Back to reset.
I say that I don't think that Eren is in that. I don't think that he's in that direction. I think we saw this one scene, and we're putting these thoughts on Eren because of the fact of the theme of the show and stuff like that. I think there might be this one part where it's truly harmonious and it's not a reset. It's not a, we got to stop Eren from doing what he's about to do. I think it's, that's what you were trying to do. Yes, we're happy that you did it. I think we've got enough of the gore and all that stuff, and I think this last decision is actually going to be a decent decision. I hope so.
Okay. Okay.
But it's just a little weird. Not weird, but you gotta remember, since he read those books and he has, like, the Titan from his dad, he kind of has, like, I guess, pain from, like, his whole bloodline and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I'm passing on the Titans.
I don't even it's not even like my thought is not even coming from an actual true hypothesis. It's not. It's just me wanting something. Like, this is totally
I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying,
I would like for that to happen. It sounds like
that's what we was
that's what you guys said
about left last was when he went to that basement. Yeah, word. I don't know what I was saying. Lost. Yeah, he read those books in the basement, and he kind of got, like, the history. That's when they realized, like, wait a minute, there is people out there, and that's when he went.
No.
Yeah.
Nobunaga?
Man. I would hope for a good ending that gets you out of this dark, deep depression of this show. I mean,
the same thing I feel. I want that.
You would hope that Eren would go back and want to tear down those walls and put the whole thing of the Titans to rest finally, so that they're no longer having to use these people as weapons. I would say introducing these kids to war at such a young age is just screwing everybody up. I mean, you would hope that he's just trying to unify everybody, both Marley, Eldians, and just kind of scratch all that.
You can't.
I guess that would be the ideal situation, but with the way that this show is, and what I'm accustomed to now, it's like it's probably gonna go there. He has Zeke and everybody. They're about to just come back to Marley once they're prepared and just blow that shit up, and that'll probably be the end of the show. So.
You want to believe that even like if he takes all the Titans in, that would be the case. Like he can just kill himself and then get rid of this whole.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I think they.
That might be. Actually, that's a good. That's a good thought. Yeah. Like the Titans all end with him. I mean,
founding Titan.
But then what's left? I mean, these guys are already improving to the point where they said Titans are not really needed anymore. I mean, the war can still keep going without the Titans.
True.
This is very but these are all a lot of the thoughts that come into like what happens when we're thinking about Attack on Titan and the way that the world has kind of been woven together in front of our very eyes. And for us who've been watching it from the beginning, or those of you who have like binge watched it as it later on came out, who have watched it closer together without as big of a gaps as waiting for seasons as we have, you might have been able to like stick with it and stuff like that and kind of see the way that it's been turning out and things have been coming together, and that might change the way that you view some of the events and the scenes that we're talking about. And so if that is the case, let us know in the comment section, let us know in the chat what that means for you, and so forth, so on. But we're going to come to a close. I hope that you enjoyed sitting at the table with us live as we had a conversation about Attack on Titan, especially the events and where we find it is right now. And please share. Let people know what's going on here. Let people know that we're having these conversations, that we're talking, that we want you guys to be part of the conversation, that, we like to talk about this anime and nerd stuff and all that good stuff. And all that. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're looking at the YouTube channel, if you're here on Twitch, please give a follow to my channel. Sub if you want to. All that good stuff. We're out here. Please, I'm just doing a lot of the video games, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, and stuff like that. And over on our YouTube channel, we do a lot of these conversations talking about that. As Nobunaga says often, please let us know some things you would like us to talk about next, some conversations you want us to hit up next, and we'll probably come back to you guys with another live viewing and another live sit-in and another live meeting of the pillars. Please stay safe in the corona times. Black Lives Matter. Happy Black History Month to all of those who understand how important it is for us to live in the world that we do right now. And not only that, remember, stay nerdy, my friend.